Well, it's definitely a recognition of the fact that, A, he is going to serve out the remaining months until November as the Senate leader. You can expect him in those months to, A, reflect on his legacy, as he noted in those remarks, but B, continue pressure on his policy goals, one of which, as we have repeatedly discussed, is continued aid for Ukraine, which is still stalled right now in the Congress. Remember, the Senate passed a $95 billion foreign aid package that includes aid for Ukraine and for Israel. It was passed after a lot of work, frankly, on Mitch McConnell's behalf in the Senate. And then, of course, it gets sent over to the House, where it's still currently stalled. Speaker Mike Johnson has indicated he's not going to put it on the House floor without some kind of border security provisions in it. If that sounds familiar, as you and I have discussed before, it is, because Mike Johnson has said that before. That's what kicked off bipartisan negotiations on the border in the Senate, the product of which Mitch McConnell championed and Mike Johnson ultimately rejected because he said it wasn't hardline conservative enough. So you can expect Mitch McConnell to continue to bring up this issue of Ukraine. Look no further, frankly, than that meeting that occurred in the White House yesterday between President Biden and the big four congressional leaders. We know from sources that Mitch McConnell was the lawmaker in that room amongst Democrats and the president who was making the hardest case to Speaker Johnson of the need to pass aid for Ukraine right now, of the urgency of the need for that aid, of the fact that Ukrainians are running out of armaments, running out of munitions, and losing in some instances to Russia on the battlefield. So expect Mitch McConnell to continue to bring that up.
And now McConnell met with President Biden and the other congressional leaders at the White House yesterday.